Hi, John here again with VoWac Publishing. We're going to kind of have a little bit of a relaxed presentation this time. We're going to talk about the blending shelf. These are the cards that go with the blending shelf. This is a new pack. I've got some random ones open that we'll be using. We're going to make a couple adjustments and then we'll be right back with you. Okay, so what we have here is the blending shelf. I've got some cards that I put on here. The teacher guides, when you get into the lessons, will tell you what cards that you'll be using, and you can add more cards or take away cards as you see your kids mastering different sounds and those kinds of things. But this is a tool that's used primarily in first grade. Throughout almost the entire year, it's used the first quarter of the second grade, and so what we recommend is that when the second grade teacher is done with this item, and these come in your kit, but when the second grade teacher is done with this item, maybe pass it down to the kindergarten teacher so that she might get some use out of it. By the time that happens, the end of the first quarter, kindergarten teacher probably would be able to do some things with this, and then when she's done with it at the end of the year, get it back, and you can trade that back and forth. So this is one of the items as far as individual sales. A lot of kindergarten teachers just order this on their own, so they've got one, but that's an in-house decision that you could make. So when you set your cards up, again, the teacher guides tell you what cards you need, and so I kind of have this set up a little bit different for this demonstration purposes, but it's going to look something like this. All your cards that you're going to be using are going to be behind the first tier, and there are 3 tiers to this. I kind of show you how that works. You have third, second, first row. So you put everything on the second and or third row. You don't want to put your cards all out like this, because then you can't control what comes out. We'll talk a little bit about that. But to do this, we're just going to review this. You got your sound, short I, short U, short E, short O, and of course short A, We're just going to be working with a couple of these. You ask your class, so what sound does that make? Put your final sound on there, because we want this to be a closed vowel sound, a closed syllable sound. So we have ag. If you do this, then we automatically make this an open sound that says K, and we want to not do that. So we have ag, am, and kids say these as you draw these cards out to the front. We have ad, at, and then you can put these on. So we have cat, sat, hat, hot, and you can run these back and forth. Here we have short E, et, het. You're not always going to have real words here. Sometimes they're just nonsense syllables. If you're using dibbles to do any assessment and your kids master this, they're going to score real high on their dibble score. So just so that you know. So again, leave your cards to the rear and bring them out as you need them. I'll give you an example of some possible things that could happen if you use your digraphs, for example. And I've got the digraphs, and we're not really going to do this, but you'll get the idea. TH, WH, CH, and of course the infamous SH. So if you put these here like this, and you just put them out, and you start talking about adding different consonants or different vowels, and we're going to put randomly some consonants out here. If you just start pulling letters, there's a potential for things to come up that you don't want your kids to say. So for example, we have wug, thug, thig, chig, shig, and of course my next card is a T. Now, your kids are going to be trained to say whatever comes up, just automatic. And so when you come across a word that we potentially could have come across here, your kids are going to say it. Johnny's going to go home. Mom's going to say, what did you learn in school? Teacher taught us in school today, and somebody's going to get a phone call. So what I'm saying is compost does not have to occur. You can control it, but you've got to start keeping these cards behind in order to control it. Kids will love this. They'll come up with weird words. At the end of the day, you're going to find various spellings of various words. Fart is probably one of the favorite words that kids have to spell on your blending shelf and sneak out at the end of the day, and about all you can do is look at it and go, at least they spelled it correctly. But that's the blending shelf. Again, we use this in first grade almost throughout the whole year, first quarter of the second grade, and then pass that down to the kindergarten. These are included in the first grade and the second grade kits as well as the remedial kits. Blending shelf, thanks for joining me. See you next time.